Yeah, you all right, mate?
Yeah.
Good event, wasn't it?
It was, mate. It was, yeah.
Bit of a cracker.
I think more so now. Now you
Yeah.
get clarification. I won't say too much in case we're going into it on the show, but
Wow, yeah, no, what an event. What an event, mate. But, all right, let's say hello if anybody's out there. Can you just pop a comment in to say here, see us on whatever you're listening on, please? Because it would help. Been a very hot week. The shop has been so hot.
yeah, I bet.
And no
Have
escape.
you got an air conditioning unit for in there, right? Si?
No.
It might be worth saying.
It's not. Yeah. Well, with this global warming, Paul. Yeah. Yeah. You wait till next year and we get 2 weeks summer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, last year was a bit of a washout, really, wasn't it? But this year we've actually had a proper summer.
Yeah. Evening, Sarah. So I don't know what we're talking about. He had a question, didn't he, last week?
Oh, honestly, I can't remember.
But we probably won't go to that question. It'll probably be something else, won't it? Have you ever heard of the Warminster thing?
The what, sorry?
The Warminster thing. That's what it's called.
No.
Right.
I'd never heard of it till the other day. And looking it up, it was quite a big UFO thing in Warminster in the 60s and 70s.
Ah.
I've only just sort of scratched. I've never heard of it until somebody came on the radio and said it's meant to be one of the most hot spots in the country, but I've never heard of it. You know, we've had all the Toulon, Rendlesham, places like that, but no. But yeah, apparently.
Right.
Have a little look up on it.
Are we ready?
Go, go, go.
Yeah, always ready.
I don't know which one I got to press. Oh.
Could be missing in a minute.
It's now time for you to sit back in your chair and let your mind into the deepest, darkest parts of your brain and let Russ take you on a journey to the unexplained.
Good evening, guys, and welcome to Journey Through the Unexplained / the EGH Paranormal Talk Show. I think it's about time I got to sit down in the week and do a new beginning for the show. Surely I've got to do a new beginning for the show because it's a bit of both now, isn't it? So I've got to figure out that one. I'll just stick it on my ever-growing list that is sort of occurring next to me at the moment as I speak. But hello, everybody. Welcome. It's the 14th of August, 2026. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, one and all. And welcome to my lovely two co-hosts, Mr. Psychic Sai and Mr. Paranormal Paul.
Good evening.
Hello, but you've jumped a year, mate.
2025. Why have I put 26?
That's the one.
I've even, you know what? Because I
don't
read
know.
it.
Well,
Because I read it, and I put 26. I've even put it on the bloody the book that I read off of.
haven't we going for a minute, though?
Well, we could have gone into the future. Who knows? Welcome, everybody. Let me know that you're in the comments. Put your names in the comments. We've got Sarah in the comments. We've got Lisa in the comments as well. So welcome,
Hi, Lisa.
and all. Well, we've got a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of two shows tonight. I did have a question that I want to start off with. No, I've got to do it. I've got to do what I normally do because I'm jumping the gun straight off the bat. Mr. Psychic Si, how has your week been?
Oh, just hot.
Well, I can't
That's all I
change.
can say. Oh,
Well, I
but
can't
no,
change.
it's all right. It's good. It's all right.
It's a devil with a deep blue sea, isn't it? We never in this country do we have it okay. We either have it freezing cold or too hot. You know,
Yeah.
how do we stick with it?
But in this country, we're not equipped for it, are we?
Well, we are, but it's different because everyone goes, well, it's different heat in different countries. Yes, it is. But it's what we never take into.
Different, eh?
Never take into the story that we're on holiday. We've got a bar. We've got a pool. We're not at work. Everything gets put into the equation of, oh, well, we never get the heat in this country. No, and it's never the same. Well, of course it ain't the same. You're on holiday. You work all year to have them 2 weeks of whatever you call it, goodness. You lived like that all the time. It'd become then a fad. And you'd probably moan at it all the time, like we are now. Do you know what I mean? All the
No.
We would, because you're moaning now
No.
about
No.
the heat.
Yeah, but if I could get out in the garden and I had a pool and the sea, I'd be fine.
Exactly
And a
that.
beer, I'd be absolutely fine.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
You're on holiday. It's exactly my point.
Oh,
Exactly my point. Mr. Paranormal Paul, how are we?
Hot. No, I'm good, thank you.
To be fair, I'm all right. I've got air conditioning on. It's quite nice in the studio tonight. So
yes.
I'm not going to sit there and moan about the heat because it's nice. And last night I fell asleep with the air conditioner on and
We've
woke
got wires, Paul, because we'll go around and the wires. Yeah.
But no, I want to sort of start off with, we're going to talk about obviously what went on at the weekend, because we was at the Epping Museum. That's coming later on in the show. But I did say to you that I had a question that I was wanting to ask. Okay, this is a little bit like, because we do 2 shows, and over the last couple of weeks, we've been sort of down the ghost paranormal group. I thought I'm just going to bring it before we talk about the weekend's expeditions. I sort of want to bring a question into it that I keep asking myself. Okay. Good evening, Dragon Investigations. Hello. Welcome to the show. Nice to see you. To see you nice. And I better turn that off, better not just for a minute, because that won't shut up. And you keep hearing, beep, beep. Right. The question I'm going to ask you is conspiracy. Okay. Paul likes to call it truth seeking. But at what point in your journey, in your spiritualism journey or your life journey, did something that you questioned made you believe that there is something different out there? Maybe a cover up from example, it may go back to the JFK era when, you know, we got the conspiracy of JFK. We could go to modern times when we talk about COVID. We could talk about Ukraine. We could even, you know, like man on the moon, anything like that. What is that? Not to say you have to pinpoint it, but actually what sort of made, because I think that in itself started to open up my spiritual journey when I started to realize that things weren't all they seem. I become to have more clearer, I won't say communication, but I just felt more attached to my spiritual path. So I'm going to go to you first, Paul, because Simon, you can see the cogs ticking in Simon's brain. So I'm going to let him have a little moment to think about if there might not be anything, but if it was a situation or anything like that, what was it, Paul?
God, blimey, you're asking something there, aren't you? I mean, I don't know if I could pinpoint it. I mean, I remember. So the thing I'm trying to, I remember asking questions at school where I couldn't, you know what I mean? But I wasn't all that bright in school either. So I think a lot of the teachers and that just thought, oh, what's he like? You know, another dimwit. But I remember we done, it was a thing called the Great Tree Dash, where it was an environmental thing again. Apparently, you know, the ozone layer, we had a hole in the ozone layer the size of Australia and this and that. And so we had to protect the earth and go around and plant trees in schools. And it was a big fundraising event, and a helicopter come in and Steve Cram come out. Remember Steve Cram? He was the runner, wasn't he? Well, he come out and he planted a tree in our field.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah. And off he went and this and that. But I can't remember exactly what, but I remember questioning a lot whenever, because it was a big thing. It was drummed into us massively at school. I remember that, especially to the build up to this event. And certain things didn't add up. And I suppose since then, when I look back, especially from now, you know, every decade there's a different, you know, we was after, I think it was either just before or after that, we was going into a new ice age. And then the ice caps are going to melt. Like within a space of a year, it shifted. And you think, well, hang on a minute, we was going into an ice age a minute ago. Now the ice caps are going to melt. The ozone layer is disappearing, which, you know, miraculously, everyone forgot about that and just stopped worrying about it. And, you know, every decade there's a different climate issue, different disaster waiting to happen. And none of it ever come true. And when I look at some of the things that people post now, you know, the only thing that stayed is the taxes that were implemented to combat thus crisis. But the crisis never happened. But these so-called experts, their models, their predictions, none of it ever come true. I mean, why they keep going back to these experts? Because they're always wrong. But they always implement taxes every time there's a new crisis, and the taxes always stay, but the thing never happens. And it always goes back to that for me. I think that's as far back as what I remember when we'd done the Great Tree Dash Day and the hole in the ozone layer. And I think that's when I started really sort of, well, hang on a minute. But I couldn't pinpoint the actual thing.
But do you go back now and think that? Or was it at the time?
I remember questioning it at the time. Nowhere near what I would have done if it was me going back there now.
And how old was you then, Paul?
Oh, blimey, I was in senior school. It was early, I'd say about third year senior. I think it's probably second year senior. So how old are you in second year seniors? It's all changed now, isn't it? It's,
I don't know, around 13?
12,
Yeah, 12.
13,
that's 12.
13, 14 sort of age.
So back then, you sort of thought that there was something quite not right.
Yeah, well, I was always sort of had my head in the cloud. I was always told I was a dreamer when I was at school, you know what I mean? Whenever we had parents' evening, the teacher would always say, he's always looking out the window as if he's, you know, just in a faraway land. But I was always thinking, and I loved, even back then, I loved the paranormal. I loved spookiness. I loved haunted things. I've always, as far back as I can remember, I've always loved that side of thing. But the conspiracy thing didn't really take hold, I don't think.
12.
12 till a lot later on, and I think I went full blown. Obviously, when COVID hit, that was like, oh, do you know what? Enough's enough.
That's the one that hit you the most, yeah?
I think so. Yeah, you can't deny what you see and witness with your own eyes.
No, I get it. Joe has asked, hello, what is the subject for tonight? The subject being for tonight, well, we've got two subjects tonight. First half of the show, conspiracy side of things, and I'm just asking the question, what was the point that you started to question the realization of something wasn't quite right with what we are being taught and taught? I suppose is my question, or that moment that made you believe in something totally different. Dragon Pan and their spiritual journey when they was 11. So I'm going to ask the question to you, because obviously, Paul, around that sort of COVID time as well. Mine was a little bit before that, but I'll go on after that. Do you want me to go first, Simon, or do you ready to go?
Yeah, you can do, mate.
Yeah, I can see his cogs ticking. So
no, you go. Yeah.
Evening, Paul. Nice to have you aboard. Welcome. Mine was when, or I suppose it wasn't necessarily the COVID. I can't pinpoint and say COVID made me the all and out. It was during COVID when we was doing the slight podcasts and we were speaking about the pyramids. We did these 20-minute episodes we put out as podcasts. And I remember talking about an episode with Joe about the pyramids. And when Joe said it, and he put sort of the tonnage and the measurements and things like that, it just got me thinking that that's impossible even now. And when I do, like, I'm not saying I'm fascinated, but I love to do a bit of pyramid research, and and it's coming back into our field again because it's going to be back on telly soon. And there's a lot of people questioning how, what, and why. But obviously, when someone tells you that one of them bricks alone is 80 ton, and that's placed to sort of near enough perfection, I'm just like, okay, if someone tells me that just like that, I will take it on face value. Okay, that's just it. But then after sort of a couple of days, sort of re-listening to the episode, going back over what we spoke, doing my own little bit of digging, it was like, really, that even now, that's virtually impossible to lift. I don't think now the technology 80 ton could be lifted. You see the cranes and that the height that would need to generate to sort of the angle of science and lift 80 ton up with the height, I don't think it would work. So just looking at that, and obviously being around the time of COVID and things like that, I was like, okay, what they're telling us and how that is, and when we've had all this and all that. So it just got me thinking more. Then obviously we did a show on the moon landings and things like that. I think Lisa's put moon landings in there as well. That's obviously made her question sort of, is it real? What they're telling us is real. 80 ton blocks shipped from out of the area. So it's, I get it. They brought 80 tons in. So, and yeah, in the logic scheme of it, if someone tells you they roll them on logs, your brain can accept that. But actually, when you start to look a little bit deeper, it's like, well, is that possible? Is that possible? I have to be one of these people that you can tell me something and I may not believe it at the beginning. And I have to let it come to in my head. I have to let it come in my head before I can sort of allow it to happen. I like to do a bit of research. I like the end result to come out, if that makes sense, before I sort of judge what I do. Funny enough, when I was at Fitzwymark Secondary School, I was being fed that the blocks were rolled on logs and levered into place within a fag paper thickness between the blocks. As I'm saying, Joe, this is my question. This is my question to everybody tonight: is what was that main incident that caused you to sort of open up to sort of what everything is not necessarily what we're told? And as I said to Paul and Si at the beginning of the show, since that moment I won't say necessarily believing, because there's still things out there that I'm still not sold on, but I still can't make up an opinion. That makes sense. I don't know what side of the fence I sit on. But ever since that COVID time, with the conspiracies that we spoke about, my spiritualist journey has taken a absolutely higher, I won't say higher, because I suppose that's a bit of a wrong word, but the communication with extraterrestrials, the communication I have with spirit, that coming to terms with, for me, what potentially I can be speaking to has really expanded my it makes me sound big-headed, and I'm not trying to make it feel big-headed, because I haven't sort of allowed it to sort of go within myself. I will just act like I do what I normally do. It's my private time and my communication. Like Saturday night, a prime example. We'll head on to that after in a minute. But me, from where I started off in the day to where I finished off in the night, at one point I was like, holy hell, I'm going against everything I believe in here. And like, what would happen if this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened? And between the time of when obviously I left where I was to get to the venue, there was a big gap there of like me sort of questioning myself. But then once I got going and allowing that to, what's the word? I didn't work how I would normally work. It was like, okay, I trust that and I'm going for it. And not to say it was, but it was probably one of the main times, especially in one of the rooms, and we'll go back there, that the equipment started to play ball with me. And the equipment doesn't normally play ball with me, just like the spirit board doesn't play ball with me. I'm hands-on when it comes to my techniques. I like the sort of like the pushing, pulling, the seances, the physical boundaries, if that makes sense. So, and that it sort of worked a little bit around the other way for me on Saturday night. And that's when I sort of wanted this question. I sort of wanted to sort of really home it in tonight, because I don't think, probably going back since prior to COVID times, I would have been as, I don't want to say brave, but as confident as enough in my own ability to then. That makes sense, what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally.
Just recently, you need a seed to plant, then you go and do your own research. Paul Howard, it's about how they condition us in school, what's right, what's wrong, when we are not allowed to think for ourselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is what sort of part of what I'm trying to get at, Paul, tonight. How it sort of works for other people and what it did. So for me, yes, COVID time was it, but it's not the COVID situation that broke it. It was the pyramids. Then because we've mentioned the moon landings here, okay? I'm still not sold on it was fake, and I'm still not sold on if it was true. I can't. Do you know what? I just don't know what to believe just at that moment in time.
I think that will always be like that, though. I think that'll always be a question. You'll have people that believe, you'll have people that don't.
Yeah, but it's
But what I think COVID did, you're saying the COVID situation, I just think COVID give people who wanted to think more and research more time to think and research. That's what COVID did. Whether that be a good, and I think it was a good thing in many ways.
for my side of things.
Wasn't COVID for me.
You know, for my time, the not research, but the downtime that you had, obviously you worked through most of it, Simon, anyway, from home. But for me, there was a lot of downtime to do different things and look at things and do things and experiment with things. And so I get what you're saying, and I maybe that's what I'm trying to get at. But for me, in that period of time, like you just said, was the COVID situation. I did do the digging on the pyramids when what you've just said, it gave me time to rather just have someone talk about it. It gave me time to sort of then just go and have a look and actually think, hang on a minute. Yeah, 80 tons. Could they lift that now? How did they do that now? What do they do now? So, yeah, for me, it was then. So, no longer, further ado, it's over to you, Simon.
Well, I mean, my journey goes way back, but I think the real thing that probably really got me questioning, if you like, was the Bermuda Triangle, right?
Ooh,
and I still haven't got to that end of that, because what is the Bermuda Triangle? Is that just somewhere set up where I think it's 25 planes, 50 boats have been lost there? There's been no wreckage. Well, again, is it just a cover-up? Is it just a conspiracy? I don't know. But then, could you fly through it and go? Is it a portal to somewhere else? Are we going to get there? And if you go through the Bermuda Triangle, does it take you to a different place? So that's how my mind started to think. And I still haven't got the answer to that question. And I would still like to do a lot more research into the Bermuda Triangle. But that's been going since the 60s. And I started to get into that round about.
On that.
Yeah. And I got into that round about 16, 17. So that tells you a lot, doesn't it?
Wow, yeah.
Lisa. Oh, yeah.
Exactly, Lisa.
It was
a lot of people were. Yeah, it was a fear factor. Yeah, really built up.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's them things that in your sort of journeys, as spiritual journeys, that I think, like, no, I don't know if you do it, Paul, you do it, but I sort of like have a discussion with my spiritual team sometimes if there's something that doesn't quite make sense and things like that. I always ask them the question, will you tell me what it is? Will you tell me what it is? Most of the time, it is not a clear-cut answer, which, it's never going to be a clear-cut answer, because I don't think we'll ever know until probably the day we pass or something like that. But I love the fact of the Bermuda Triangle, and I think we could do probably a whole show on that in the next coming weeks about our own.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it didn't take me away from the path that I believed in, but it was one thing that always stuck in my mind that I couldn't answer, and I couldn't answer to start. So, that's my whole sort of question. That point of the Bermuda Triangle has made you
may question things further down the line because it's not
Yeah, and then
necessarily.
when I watch a program, when I watch a program on telly where they go on a plane and then come back 20 years later or whatever it is, I immediately go, bang, the Bermuda Triangle. That's what it is. You go somewhere for 30 years and you come back and you haven't aged. And yeah,
That's a
see,
weird
does
program.
somebody know something?
But they have had
Yeah.
ships turn up, haven't they? Even with like no one on board after like 20 odd years. But so, you know, where was that ship? Where was that ship?
Yeah.
Stuart, I worked in insurance and there were no increase in the premiums to any ships going through that area. That's because statistically there were no more disappearances than would be expected.
What was
Wow.
Can I ask? Sorry, when you say you got interested in an early age, what was you told at that age that happened at the Bermuda Triangle? Can you remember?
I think it was one of. I don't know if we spoke as a group of friends. I think we actually spoke as a group of friends, and again, it was some of us believed it and some of us didn't.
Mm.
And that's so. Then I think I asked the teacher. I probably asked the teacher or somebody, or perhaps one of my old governors. And you couldn't ask me that. It was all you get was a bloody stupid boy. Don't be stupid. But it's really a weird one. Really a weird one. It is.
I think
I can't answer it now.
We can either go two routes of this, guys. We can either delve into the Bermuda Triangle and have our theories on it, which would probably be a good idea as we're talking about it, and have to hold off and see how far we go with the Epping and see if we get Epping in maybe next week. Yeah? What do you reckon?
Could do.
Let's do it. Let's talk about the Bermuda Triangle and theories.
Well,
let's just read
you
some.
reckon it might be an idea to go and find out a bit more?
No, because I
About
think
Bermuda
we're on the
Triangle.
spot. I think we're on the spot. And I don't want to hit that. I don't want to miss the spot because it's in our heads. Right. Paul, I'm interested in time travel. A friend of mine had an incident of time travel. A long story from here. Joe says, do you know what? I remember the Bermuda Triangle being a big thing in my childhood.
Yeah.
It scared the nuts off me. That's probably earlier than secondary school.
So it's probably kind of one of the earliest scare.
Yeah.
You know what everyone kind of remembers.
Why were they doing it?
Yeah, exactly. Why? For something, so this is where my head goes. When something's pushed as much as that, then it's a cover up. That's what I think now.
Yeah.
Jackie, having been in Bermuda, not many people there actually spoke about it, but certainly avoided certain areas. There's definitely something there. There is definitely something there. So let's look at it as a logical thing that we're told. They was told that it was all to do with, is it magnetic field? It disorientates the planes, the boats. They sail off course, run out of fuel, and it just disappears. Okay, crash, bang, wallop.
Yeah.
That's what I think is.
But they don't find wreckage. They don't find wreckage.
Yeah, but they would never find wreckage if it went outside the Bermuda Triangle. Because they're going to only look in the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, but you might find that. Yeah, but you wouldn't, because they don't find plane wreckages now when they know where it's crashed. You have tide, you have obviously, but say, for example, that what they're telling us, magnetic field, the instruments go wrong, especially in the olden days when it was all done with compass and magnets. So they go off, they think they're going the right direction, but they don't. They're going in a totally different direction, which could be further out to sea, run out of juice, they crash. Boats, exactly the same, run out of fuel. But with boats, a little bit different because I should think it'd
Yeah.
always stay on the boat, wouldn't it? In my eyes,
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
you know.
So you'd be
just-
found a month
Shit.
later or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
Mayday.
Yeah. Lisa, I never trust authorities when they tell us something. I wonder what they're trying to hide. Exactly. There's always an agenda. But with the Bermuda Triangle, for me, and I'll think what I think it isn't a thing anymore. But the sheer fact is that I know many years ago they didn't allow flight path through it, did they? They actually stopped flight path and commercial flights going through it. And I do think that reopened quite a few years ago to allow planes to fly back through it, okay, to get to their
I
destination.
don't know when the last one went missing, actually. I don't know when the last one went missing.
So I
Can't
think
tell you that.
my personal opinion is that I think it is some underground. You know, I don't like the word Atlantis because I'm not sold on Atlantis, but it could be sort of like that underground, undersea world that
Yeah.
where the terrestrials lived, you know, or that was their entry point, you know. That's why the radar or that went skew with, because it's different technology. Our planes, our ships couldn't take that technology, so it threw all the instruments out because it's a higher power to what we're used to. And now that obviously our technology's changed, it may coincide quite easily that they haven't got to worry about planes missing, boats going missing, because of that technology that the extraterrestrials or whatever we're going up and down through that, maybe that sort of lineage line is all on the same wavelength now, and it can't affect it. You know, they've just got to make sure that nothing flies through there that can be seen, which is easier to do. So they talk about fog, didn't they? Remember, within the Bermuda Triangle, the fog used to roll in. What are they stopping that people from seeing? You know, that's where my brain would always go.
The last one went missing in 2017.
In the Bermuda Triangle, but they're allowed to fly through it, though, aren't they?
Yeah. The last one went missing. I
I didn't realise it was as recent as that.
No, nor did I.
Testing submarines, they didn't want anyone to know what's about, put a scare story out. Exactly that.
Yeah, that's kind of where my head goes. You know, it's frighten people away from it.
But then I also use the sort of the modern times as well. I used that. Remember the Titanic and the submarine that went down to the Titanic that exploded? I'm using that as a scare tactic as well.
Yeah.
I don't think they want people exploring the bottoms of the oceans at the moment. What is the best thing to do is keep people away from it. You know, we're talking about there was a lot of money people down there that I know they said, oh, the technology was rubbish and it was an Xbox controller and it was tatty and things like that. But
it wasn't. It wasn't. He was doing it for money. He was doing it for money, and he ignored the warning signs. You watch the documentary; it's a really good documentary. He ignored the warning signs on that.
Yeah, but then that's
why
I think documentaries made us just to that. Don't go down there because you think you look at the one prior to that.
Yeah, but
prior to the Titanic with the radar, wasn't it? The radar signal, and they perfectly scoped out, didn't they? Well, they virtually found out where the so-called iceberg hit didn't hit. and all of a sudden we've got explosives going down there, setting off people not to go near it. So within sort of a time month, we've got something that they're saying that isn't right, and now they're stopping people from going down there. Which, yeah, I think I did watch the documentary, so I think I have seen that, and I think it was quite a good documentary, if I remember right. I enjoyed it.
It's really good. It's really good, yeah. It was really good.
Yeah, I think I
See,
did.
I don't mind a good documentary, but I find myself, especially nowadays, when I'm watching a documentary, I'm paying attention more to the things that I think that don't add up, that don't make sense. Honestly, I sometimes fry my own brain because I question everything.
But I think we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
So-
you say, you know, just there's a really good documentary out, okay, but if they are hiding something, then that documentary, if it's believable,
Oh, yeah.
everyone's going to buy into it.
But I think they will also put the truth in there.
100%.
I'm noticing it
Well,
more and
within
more
reason.
now with the BBC. I am now noticing that the more and more that the BBC are telling you the truth without us even knowing about it. I really do. There was something I watched the other day that I'm thinking, there is no way this should be on BBC. No way should this be on BBC, because they're going against everything they've ever tried to sort of put in the way. And they're opening it up. And I'm thinking, you know what? Hide it in plain sight. Hide what it is in plain sight. Tell us the truth, but not tell us the truth. Give two people to argue, and we've got it. We've hidden the truth. You know, the art of debate's gone, hasn't it? It's an argument pretty much all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same with the protests and things like that, you know. If it's peaceful, then you've got rent a crowd. You've got a group of people that are paid to go there to cause trouble.
That was it. That's exactly it. That's exactly what not the documentary. It wasn't a documentary. It was a podcast. And I tell you what, I'm going to give everyone to go and listen to it. It's a drama. Okay? It's a drama. Bear with me.
True or not true?
I would say not true, but I think they're telling you the truth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hold on, bear with me. Right, it's called Central Intelligence. Okay, it's on BBC Sounds. There's season 1 and season 2. All right. Make sure you listen to season 1 first, or series 1 first, being in the UK. And it's under Limelight. They do some really good documentaries, drama. And if you haven't already listened to the Lovecraft investigations through it, then you need to go and listen to them as well. But yeah, go and listen to Central Intelligence, and it brings up JFK. It brings up this. It brings up that. It gets to the point of how, I suppose what Simon says, is it true? Yes, I think it is the truth. I do. But it's a really good, go and listen to it. It's a good drama. Easy listening. It's about 20-minute episodes, and you do get really, really hooked. Really hooked. So yeah, and that's what I was saying. Go, sorry, Si.
So this question's opened it up now. Has anyone survived the Bermuda Triangle? Well, that to me says, what sort of question is that? And then they say, yeah, somebody has. A pilot is the only living person to fly through the storm that creates one of the world's greatest mysteries. But I would say he's flown through a storm.
Yeah. But then, isn't it what Paul was just...
And then
Yeah.
for you, I really don't get it.
Yeah, but that's what I think is what Paul is saying, Simon. I think that goes, I think, against sort of what we're trying to say. I think that bloke there has probably paid to say, yeah, I've flown through it, I lived it, I'm good. But as you said, it's a storm.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
never know.
It's ironic that the Bermuda wasn't really associated with UFOs, more about a portal to another dimension. But what is a portal to another dimension? Is, you know, we're talking about
Well, that's it.
dimension.
So that's what gets my mind ticking. Could you possibly go in a portal and go somewhere else for 30 or 40 years?
And try and find it back? A loop?
Yeah.
Is it a thing that happens every 30 years? Do you know?
I don't know.
I think if the conditions are right, because again, whether it's true or not, but there has been reports from just pilots, not in the Bermuda Triangle, but anywhere, pilots that reckon they hit wormholes, doesn't they? There's something in the sky that gets them literally from one place to another. You know, even if it's like a mile or 2 miles ahead, but it's taken like 100th of a second where it should take them 5 seconds, and things like that. You know, they've hit something and they've just appeared further along where they should be. There's been multiple cases of that. But so is it a similar thing?
Yeah.
But only a longer period of time? Instead of going faster, it goes slower.
Yeah, I do, but I do think there is something within that to link it to sort of some major conspiracies within time.
Mm.
And I do think, for me, I think it's linked to ufology in some way, shape, or form.
I think it is. Yes, I think it is.
And
That's
the
what I
dimension,
think.
I just think goes. I don't see that outside the extraterrestrial stuff, dimensions and things like that, the interdimensions and things like that. That fits within that logic. I do think it could be a portal to something. What was the film where they went from Mars, from Earth? What was that film?
Stargate.
No. Not
Went
Running
from
Man.
Mars.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sure he did the original.
Oh, Total Recall.
Was it Total Recall when they went from Mars to the center of Earth to Mars? Something like that, wasn't it?
Centre of Earth. They went from Earth to Mars, didn't they?
Yeah.
They could go anywhere in the galaxy, couldn't they, on that one?
Yeah. That's what I think it was. I think there's an area that sits within that time frame. I think now technology, and even though our technology as the human race and technology of extraterrestrial or other beings don't have to hide that too much now. They're here, they come and go like as they please, cloaked, whatever.
We only see the very limited technology, what we're capable of. You know, our technology is about 150 years more advanced than what we get to use and play with. 100% with these government agencies, they know the stuff they can do with technology is just ridiculous. And it's very affordable, but we don't get to see that.
I've got loads of comments coming in, so we've obviously hit a good one because the comments are all coming in. I don't know what the Philadelphia experiment is off the top of my head, so I won't comment on that. It's just like, yeah. If it was Ryanair, they would charge you extra for
Yeah.
High-powered electromagnets to distort time and space.
Right, okay, that was the Philadelphia experiment, yeah.
Joe doesn't think it's got anything to do with UFOs. Paul Howard says, you really need to hear my friend's story about his time travel and warning signs that needed to get out. I wonder if he'd want to come on the show and talk to us.
Yeah.
If he would like to come on the show and talk to us. You know, you've got our contact, Paul. We'd happily have you both on the show too. If he wants to come on with you and talk, we'll both have you on the show. If he wants to have a chat about it, more than
I'm
happy.
interested to know about the warning signs.
You see what they want you to see.
100%.
Exactly that.
Yeah, I just think it's, for me, the Bermuda Triangle has definitely got something. Not no more. I don't think it hides anymore. I don't think it needs to hide anymore. But I do back in the day.
It hit
No.
something.
Something was going on, wasn't it, to scare people
Yeah,
away.
something was going on, whether it be whether it be nuclear submarines, testing zones, whatever it was, or whether it be UFO. And that's, as I say, that's what got my mind ticking. What was it? And yeah, like a lot of people there, I don't think I'd have flown over it at the time.
No, I don't think you. I don't
Seriously,
think
don't. Because
they used to change it, didn't they?
people
Because
did,
I think we used to. I think it was a part of near that. A lot of it, you'd have to fly through it to get to a lot of places, and that's why they had to do it, wasn't it? Because it's near Florida, isn't it? It's off the coast of Florida.
yeah, it's that way, isn't it? Yeah, it definitely is.
So I'm just looking now.
It
Yeah, it's near Miami. The point of it is near Miami. And it goes all the way out to, what's that? Let's have a look on that map. Puerto Rico. And it goes all the way across sort of out to Bermuda, obviously to Miami, to Puerto Rico in a triangle. Just what was it hiding? What's there that is hiding?
Yeah.
Once again, it's a triangle. We talk about triangles of power, don't we? The pyramids, triangles. You know, they're like triangles. Now we're talking about the Bermuda Triangle.
Symbolism.
It's absolutely, that's the word I was trying to get out. Symbolism.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let me know, mate, when you're available. He will not talk about it. So, Paul, hopefully we'll have a chat, Paul. We'll have a chat. I'll contact you next week, and we'll have a chat about it. All right, and we'll try and get you on the show to see if you can give his story. If he's happy for you to give him his story across, and then go. Yeah. Illuminati, but I do believe in that. I generally do believe in that. Absolutely, do I believe in their symbolism? You know, is it the Masons or the the all-seeing eye that's on top of the triangle again? You know, on top of the dollar bill. You know, watching you. What is that? Do you know what I mean? What is that? You know, I think it is symbolism at its highest. But what is the Bermuda Triangle? I don't think we'll ever know. Once again,
no,
it's one of them things that we will never know. But I do think it's hiding. It hid something.
Yeah, I think it hid something.
Yeah.
It's got to hide something. It's got to. It was too much in your face not to. And as you said, the scaremonger. The scaremonger.
And it was for years.
But you don't even hear about it. Yeah. Just gone dead.
No. Yeah.
What was so dangerous?
Yeah, that's what makes it even worse because I can still take my mind back there, and I expect people in the chat will take their mind back and think, well, where did it all go? What stopped it all? Because there was never an explanation given other than weather conditions. Well, come on.
I'm fully with you on this one. I'm fully with you. But then it doesn't happen now. Yeah. That my mind goes to, that's controllable.
Yeah.
So my mind sort of does go to that government, not government, but whatever you'd want to call it, sort of deep
state.
Sort of that it's controllable. Whatever they've done to it is now fully controllable. Fully.
If every government's telling you to stay away from something, you know there's something going on there.
No different to Antarctica. Not allowed to go near it.
100%.
Not allowed to go near it. Perhaps they've moved everything from the Bermuda Triangle to Antarctica. Paul said, yeah, he won't mind us talking about it. If they told us the truth, you don't think we could handle it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could. I think we could. I think it's.
This goes back to that Men in Black scene, doesn't it? You know, with Tommy Lee Jones. And he says, yeah, a person could handle it, but people as a whole, they couldn't. It's that mass hysteria. People like us, like-minded, you could handle it. But as a whole,
No.
I don't know.
Right. The Philadelphia experiment was to prove that if a high-powered electromagnet was produced on a warship, it could be cloaked. So it alleged that it actually took place and worked. But when the power was turned down, the warship reappeared. But the personnel on board the ship were built into the fabric of the ship, and the men were still alive, encased in the metal plates of the warship.
Wow.
Wow.
I've never heard of that before. Never heard of that.
No,
No, it's funny. I've heard of the Philadelphia experiment. That
Yeah,
did
so
ring a
have
bell.
I.
I didn't know that.
Film made about it.
Where can we get it?
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, but we'd need to know the name of the film. Joe, do you know the name of the film? Because we'll all be watching it in the week. If you can name the film, 10 points to everybody who can name the film.
It's probably called the Philadelphia experiment.
But yeah, it's probably
That's probably what it's called.
Just taking a stab in the dark.
true
Yeah.
story. But what did they actually? So, Joe,
Prime
was it-
Video. Streaming on Prime Video. Whoop, whoop.
what's it called? The Philadelphia
Yeah.
experiment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll give that a watch.
they're all coming through now. Look, they're all coming through now.
Netflix.
Joe, was it a film or was it actually real? Joe saying it's a true story.
They also like to exaggerate a bit, don't they? They've got to make it viewing worthy.
Yeah, it's got to be doctored to make you to. But no, I should think once again that's just. I know it sounds horrible, but that's just chemical warfare again, isn't it? Using humans as it's testing. You know, they had an idea that this would work, but it didn't. You know, it didn't work. And how many experiments of like that have actually gone on in time that have happened things
That we don't know about.
yeah
Exactly, that we don't know about.
and I know
Oh, the ship. Stuart knows it.
ship was called Eldridge. It's a true story and a book. There we
Wow,
go.
wow.
So we've got a little bit
Wow.
of research to do this week. A little bit
I'll
of
be on that
research.
tomorrow. Amazon Prime.
But I lost my chain of thought there. What was I saying? What was we talking about? No, it's gone out my brain, just like that. Disappeared, never to return again. No,
In the
can't
Bermuda
think of
Triangle.
it. Yeah, I don't know. It was.
It's good.
Oh, that was it. That was what I was going to say. You said we were talking about the experiments and what's gone on, and we'll never know about it. Now, we can, all three of us here, we can name a place that we've been and we thought that might have gone on, because the more we've done it, the more it's come to light. And that was the secret nuclear bunker.
Yes.
how many times
Yeah.
have we been there and that has been a thing? Now, the more we've been
Yeah.
there, the more we're digging it, and we're taking back that onion layer after layer after layer, and we're getting that.
Yeah.
But
You know?
it's never been the same.
Yeah.
Every time we've gone there, it's something different. Like the
But it seems
majority
now
of
it's
the
been getting on.
I know you get similar sort of things happening, but in it's never been the same every time I've been there. But the more I think about it, out of all the places we've been, that to me is the most active place I've been, of what I've witnessed myself firsthand.
Yeah. So
Whether that is because I've probably been there more than anywhere else, but
yeah, when I first walked into the bunker, after doing it a few times, I didn't think it was. I thought, okay, it's given all it's got to give. But then they started to put. Oh God, it's got to be quite recently. It's probably got to be the last 3 visits. There's things being put in plain sight. The actual boards of what they've done, and then you're getting. I'm getting people communicate with me that have been tested on down there. Families, whole families, literally injected with stuff. Back
Well,
in
that's
the 60s.
Yeah.
60s, we're not going back that far.
No, that's what I'm saying. I still think it goes on today. It's got to chemical, and that's what I'm saying. Listen to that. Go and listen to Central Intelligence, that podcast or that drama, and it's all about that and how they did it, why they did it, and this goes back to sort of First World War and how they did it and got people to go to war. You know, very interesting, very, very interesting. What's it? There's a film called Contact with Jodie Foster, I think, with bodies. I think that's supposed to be Jodie Foster, where aliens make contact and they build a time travel machine.
I like that film. It's a good film.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
It's quite a long film, and it all sort of happens in the last half hour. But it's one of them. It's one of my. I like films like that. It's one of my go-to films. The same with Interstellar and films like that. Contact's a good film.
So it's another one I've got to watch.
Yeah.
Contact was a great movie. Yeah, something I haven't watched, so I can't comment, so I won't comment. But no, I think I generally do feel that there is something hidden within A, the Bermuda Triangle, and B, with some places that we are now coming together. And this is what I'm saying, like, so going back to my first question, that the times that we've done, you know, as Simon said, when he first did the bunker, he's thinking, well, what is this? What is this? You know, we might not have anything. But now it's where you've stringed back the layers of everything. Like, yeah, it could just be a simple case of you've been here so many times, it might be that. Or is that something that you've caused in your brain to actually think, because of what went on in that bunker with testing, if you hadn't believed, like, do you go what do you know what I'm trying to find it hard to say that you may have never got to that point of, because you may have just believed in what you believed in, but there's something that's caused you to go a different pathway, and you've gone, you know, does it make sense in what I'm trying to say? I do struggle.
You've gone against the norm of what the way you usually do things. Like you said at the beginning of the show as well, you know, with Saturday night, you said you've done something different. How is it different? Because you was taught to do it a certain way. Doesn't mean if you do it different, it's wrong. It just means it's different to the way you was taught to do it. Yeah, sort of. Contact is a great movie.
Contact is great, if only because it was written by Carl Sagan. I thought of that film earlier, but didn't mention it. I don't know what the Mandela
Contact.
effect. So what? I don't know what the Mandela effect could be. We've probably missed it there. If you remember, we had a time slip in the bunker as well. Talk to me.
Sandra. Was that the bunker with Sandra when she?
I can't. Yeah,
I remember someone talking about a time slip. I'm assuming that it must have been at the bunker.
Lisa, talk to us. Lisa, to us.
Who were you with? It's no good. You might well have been with me, but a goldfish ain't going to remember it.
No, wasn't it? Someone was walking behind them, and then as they turned the corner, they weren't behind them. And then when they went back to base room, they were in the back. It was something like that. I'm sure of it.
Sandra and Andy were in the same place and didn't see each other.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That bunker is
Yeah.
what he was explaining sounded like a Mandela effect. I know. Yeah, sorry, Stuart. I know. Man, is what got different to what actually happened. But what was I explaining? There's only about 10 minutes ago, where you believe in something, etc. Yeah, I suppose it could be seen as a Mandela effect. The doors were suddenly new. Andy couldn't move easily.
Yeah. Mm.
That's what I'm saying. You know, that time slip, is that interdimensional? Speak of the devil, and the devil shall appear. I couldn't find the group I was with. Couldn't see them or hear them, but apparently we walked past each other.
Yeah.
Sandra, that happens to you a lot because you managed to lose guests in Shepton at prison at times as well, didn't you? But,
yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much, Sandra.
I remember it freaking them out though, because I remember them talking about it.
I say I can't necessarily remember it too much, to be fair. I can't remember it too much.
But it's definitely changed a lot.
Sorry, go on.
No, mate.
No, with the bunker, it's the only place I nearly bailed. I mean, all right, granted, it was for my first time at the bunker, but the different things that have gone on in that place.
Yeah.
You know, you went on a wonky one night, Russ, after everyone left. You just weren't yourself. Well, we thought you was bleeding possessed. You was like someone else, and you just walked off on your own. And we sort of like, should we go after him? So I think it was Scotty T went after you, or someone, and we couldn't find you. And then we found you sort of sitting on your own in the pitch black corner in the communications room, like the worst part of that room as well. You know, basically the same part where your phone started just going off and talking to you. But this was a different.
And that's where a lot of that's in plain sight in that communication room on the wall, because it tells you what they injected and tells you how many people died, but you've got to decipher it. It's there.
Really?
It's definitely there. Yeah.
And is that what you picked up
in that
on?
communication room? Huh? It's on the board.
What you picked up on, or is it?
Yeah. No, it's on the board. It's on the board.
So it's
Lisa, who was with me? It must have been Lisa and Jay. It's on a chalkboard of how many injections they, or how many they experimented on, and how many died. Yeah, and if you look at it and read it properly, that's what it's telling you.
Yeah, I suppose because I've never really looked at the board.
I can't remember who I was with though. We looked at it, went through it. It's in plain sight.
That makes a bit more sense now as well when that night I nearly bailed when I said I saw myself looking in a room with a window and there was a nurse, you know, with a hat, and she was just standing there looking at me. I mean, I can't really say put it down to that because it wasn't the nursing area there, wasn't there? The medical area, but
Yeah.
that
That's
Like,
nice, yeah.
bizarre place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we always thought they was.
Sorry, go, Si. Sorry, mate.
We've always been there and thinking they're the medical area and the medical base and what they've been in there for. But it was whole families. It was literally whole families in the 60s. Yeah.
But then
That's it.
it makes more sense, doesn't it? That makes more sense of what that place was.
Yes, exactly.
And once again, they're not hiding the name, are they? They're not hiding the name.
It's on the
They're
wall.
telling you what it is. It was never used as a military operation. The more you look at it, you think the more you look at that place, if a nuclear bomb went off, would it save you? Would it save you?
Probably not. It'd probably keep you a little bit
I don't think that
more
door.
alive than it would.
I don't think that door would save you. I really don't.
But it probably wouldn't because it's connected to the bungalow at the end.
Yeah, I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What was really, them doors are not airtight.
No.
They're just.
Perhaps they were back in the day. Perhaps they were back in the day.
I think it was given the persona of that would protect you. But I would say.
I think it's more of a bomb shelter rather than a nuclear bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then.
The next time we go, I would like to take Joe back there because Joe used to do the bunker a lot and he hasn't been for a long time and get his perception on it. I really would because he's had a break. He's had such a long break from the bunker. Yeah.
I like that idea.
And see how much that has changed with Joe because
Absolutely love that idea. I love that idea.
because it's changed with me, I know. My perception of that place has changed.
Mm.
Yeah, look, and then we connected with the injected families. Yeah, that's it. You're right, Lise. We did.
Can you remember your first time, Paul?
Yeah.
And has it changed since your first time
Yeah.
to your second time?
Yeah, my first time there was, I'd say, very much spirit side of things, as in it was the first full apparition I saw. Knocked me off my feet. It's the first clear as day whispering in my ear. First time I see things full on, like crystal clear when I shut my eyes. It freaked me out quite a bit my first time there. And I know I think it was about my third investigation out with you guys. Yeah, so it was about my sixth investigation in total. And yeah, by far, and that was after I've done 30 Years Drive as well, and that was by far the one that I only very nearly bailed on. But since then, I must admit I was. But don't forget, we stayed the night. That's the only time we've stayed the night. We don't really do that so much now, do we? I can't.
Well, it's never allowed to, apparently.
You never stayed the night. We've stayed the night in there 4 times.
Right, yeah. But anyway, with Russ snoring his head off, I was too scared to get out of my bed because I weren't walking out of there on my own. I thought I'm gonna have to wake everyone up because this is doing me head in. Every time I put my head on the pillow, the fucking thing was whispering in my ear, freaked me out. But it hasn't done that since. But then I don't think I've tried to sleep there since. So
That's what we should
The
try.
bunker is a weird place, and as I say, I'm with you guys. From day dot when we first tried it until the times we go in there now, it's
Yeah.
so different, and it is.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're actually getting somewhere with it. And I find, I suppose the bit I like about it is like you can find, for me, I can used to be able to walk into that place and you knew what was this was about, that was that about. You could pull that energy forward. But now it's like, okay, I can't pull that energy forward anymore. Why can't I?
Well, you probably could. You probably
Some-
could, but you can't be bothered to.
No, it's not. I can't be bothered. It's because something new is there. And being a paranormal investigator, I like the newness, and I'll go
Exactly.
with the new, the old,
Yeah.
and that new.
Exactly. Colonel North is still in that corner, but nobody talks from us. Talks to him. Nobody ever talks to him now. We just go because there is new stuff. Yeah, you're right. You're bang on. Right.
It's stuff that is more intriguing. More intriguing.
Yeah.
I find it more intriguing. You know, I get that buzz, and the stuff that you
And
get.
the tunnel. In that tunnel, because first of all, when we went in that tunnel, there was a light down the end of the tunnel back in the bunker days. In your very first days, it was a light, but it's gone now. But we still had that light coming from every angle. Again, that was me, Lisa, and Joe, and everybody could see it, and it was moving, but there was no light. There was no light there at all. You know, there used to be a light at one end of the tunnel that had gone. So there was nothing there that was making any light.
Bungalow end or bunker end?
The other end, bunker end. Now there's nothing there.
Go 3 ways down that tunnel then. Up where the beds are or the other end.
The other end.
So
clear
go
the bunker.
into the bunker where all like the
Machine.
cages are and you've got all the
Yeah.
turning
Yeah.
things in there at that end. Right, got you. Yeah.
But there is no light in there now. Yeah, there used to be. There used to be.
Camera, didn't it? Used to be a camera, I think. Like the infrared
That's it,
camera.
but that's it, but it's not there anymore. So we've made sure of that. We have made sure of that. But that was fantastic. That was really fantastic.
See, that's the other thing. You know, I've done 20 minutes in that tunnel on my own. I never would have done that on that after that first investigation. Never. And the first time we was in that tunnel, I can't remember who was with us now, but there was I think it was you, Si. There was a growl, like a proper demonic growl.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
The whole night was just, it had a very dark vibe to
And
it.
it was in the light come on, wasn't it? I think a light come on above the beds with Scotty T. One of the fluorescent lights just all of a sudden lit up.
Yeah. That wasn't our first
Yeah.
time. That wasn't our first time. So
No.
I filmed that. I caught that on camera.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I love I absolutely love the place completely.
Yes, I do.
Oh, that was
Like
why it
what
went
was-
all wonky the first time I was there, because, I mean, you lost your sight in the engine room, Russ. Someone opened up a portal or something like that, and I reckon that's why we had all these weird things going on. And it was in that engine room. Me and Scotty were standing there. You lot went to do your thing, and we could see movement running, like spirit running round us, and we're like, what
Yes,
the hell is
yes.
going on here? And like, you know what I mean? And I sort of just went down on my knees like that, and as I went down on my knees, a face just come straight up to me, like there, like as if it run up to me, and it knocked me on my arse. It frightened the living. Honestly, I'd never have witnessed anything like it in my life. Clear as day. What? Although it was dark, it just come right at me.
Where was that, Paul?
That was in the engine room. When you lot went right down the bottom, where you lot went off to do your thing. There's me there, Scotty there, and I think there was. I think this might have been when the guests went home though, because it was only me and Scotty that stayed with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it done me head in. Yeah, and it was like after that, I'm trying to sleep. I've got all this other shit going on. I'm like, well, what is going on here?
It's a good venue. I do generally think we make that venue tick, but I think we're getting to more of the actual true meaning of the place.
Yeah.
Because I haven't experienced certain things like that since that first time. And that just clicked. I'm wondering if it is because when you guys said someone's opened a portal that, other things were coming in.
But then, once again, there's going to be energies there that want you to stop finding the truth. Just like now, there's going to be energies there that are going to fuck you about. Sorry, I swore. Sod you about that will not want you to dig deeper and deeper and deeper. Side, do you remember the purple light coming towards us from the bungalow end? It knocks me backwards.
Yeah.
Then the green light from the other end coming towards us. Sight, it made you blind for a bit and had to get out.
Yes.
Well, that you just spoke about that, Paul, didn't you? But on me.
Yeah, that was you.
Now we're listening.
We're both been blinded.
It's taking your sight. It's
I
weird.
wonder if that's something to do with the injection that they had then. That's interesting. That's a bit of absolute fantastic bit of evidence there. But over time that we put it together.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
And that's what you do.
Really?
So whoever said that you should always have a debunk at the end, a debrief at the end, is probably right. It is probably right.
We do that now at the end of our investigation.
Yeah, we do. But I don't think we would have been at that point.
No,
we were doing that. But yeah.
But I think that is two different times. Two different times we've been there. I don't think it happened on the same night.
No, Lisa wasn't there on my first time there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think this is quite a.
Right.
He's probably first time with us.
No, my first time with you was High House Perfectly. That was my first time with you at the bunker.
So that would have been
when that happened. Yeah,
pre-COVID.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And this was probably after COVID. So we're talking a probably 4 or 5 year gap between this happening.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, it could have been. Could have well been.
That caused people to go blind.
Yes, and I think it did. I think we'd come across that somewhere as well, but I can't remember again. I'd have to go back.
That's really interesting. That's brilliant bit of evidence. Sorry, mate. If you want to see a film that will stop you going down tunnels, is The Borderlands or Last Prayer in the US.
That sounds scary, Stuart. That sounds very scary.
Why would I watch that knowing that I will be at some point going back down that tunnel?
You know you're going to watch it.
Yeah,
now I'm going to watch it because I've written it down.
I'm definitely going to watch it. Films don't scare me anymore, though. That's the thing. Lisa said that may have been last year.
Oh, so that's
last time we went.
Massive difference in.
Yeah, maybe the last time we went. I think it was the time before. I could be wrong though. Yeah, I could be wrong. It could be last year. Don't know.
Who knows? But
we'll have to get there.
we've come towards the end of the show, guys. Thank you ever so much for everyone joining us. It's been a really good show. I know we started off on sort of a conspiracy thing, but we did lead into a sort of a ghosty side of things for everybody who watches over on the EGH, because we went into the wonderful world of the secret nuclear bunker. We will definitely catch up in a week's time regarding Epping Museum and everything that went on in the Epping Museum. So if you have come along to watch that, please can you make sure you pop back next week, and we will talk about the Epping Museum ghost hunt, what went on, and things from there.
Blinding. It was a brilliant.
Paul, if you've got any clips you could send us, and we might be able to drop them into the show, really be professional.
That would be good. I'll have to try and find some time. I've got a very busy weekend this weekend, but I will try my best. Yeah.
Don't panic too much. All right. Don't panic too much. But no, thank you for everybody that has joined us tonight on the show. Hope you've had a good night. It's always good to have a chat. I've had a thoroughly good night.
Yeah.
Good to talk, as they say. From Bermuda Triangle to the secret nuclear bunker. How we've got there, I haven't got a clue. But we have.
Nor have I.
We have. But no, thank you for everyone that's joined us.
We did.
Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Take care, Paul, and I'll be in contact with you in sometime next week. All right. And we're great show.
Thanks,
Lee. Thanks, Lace. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.